Hello, my name is Isabel Cole Gomez, and this is my submission for week 7/8 project running through my level. So I will be inserting down here an image. This is the work in progress map I submitted for week 4, and I was able to actually build this in Unreal. And now we're going to be playing as just a little basic character and walking around what that looks like. So you spawn right next to what an asset I had to import, which is actually kind of a revolving door. Hopefully in the future I'm able to revolve it, and you'll be seeing these characters on the ground, and they represent things. So it's all based on chess. So this not pawn, but this piece right here is actually representative of doors, which is why I have the door over here, and it's staying on top of one as well. And then if we keep going on through the level, you'll be able to see this watering cans, and these actually represent kind of like a challenge that you have to go through, and the whole point is to pick up the watering can and water these flowers. And you might be wondering, Isabel, where you're gonna get the water from? Well, that's part of the challenge. So as you go over here and you go through these doors that I imported but don't know how to walk through yet, you'll able to see more flowers, and the point is to look for kind of a water source. So if we keep going over here, you stop by this kind of fork on the road, and this actually symbolizes in the key a literal key. So all of these mushrooms are on top of the keys, and they're kind of like these keys you would get in the game, which have little hints or advantages or riddles or things like that that I could include in the game. And as I keep walking, this represents kind of where I would have the water. If you look up, you see that I have kind of a translucent sky, and that's because on top of the whole model, I wanted to be able to utilize the sunlight. So I added some transparent light blue glass and overlaid it to make it look more dimensional and just different. Even in parts like these, where it doesn't look as covered, it is covered, and I can actually, at the end, go back and show all that. All these red buttons are actually called Anas, so in the key you'll see that it's labeled as Anas, and these are kind of representing like an area where you can meet with this entity called an Ana and transform into a different skin as a literal character. And for some of the challenges that you'll be facing, you'll need to be wearing a different skin. So let's say we're going through here, following the general level, and I'm looking down to reference the map since it is a little bit very tall. I finished this project before we had done the unit scale. Here we have another kind of spectacle area. I'm really proud of the way that this looks. I layered a bunch of different half cylinders and was able to layer them up to kind of make the stage. And again, this is where you meet one of the more important Anas, which is why the circle's a little bit bigger. If we keep going, you'll be able to find another area. This part is open, and that's how it is originally on the map. Here you might be wondering what this yellow mushroom is, and the yellow mushroom is actually their rewards, I believe. Yeah, so the yellow mushrooms are rewards. So when you get to these, you'll be able to collect some sort of point, and you need to collect all of them in order to successfully play the last chess game. If we run outside, we see that there's this area over here is supposed to be sandy. There's an extra reward if you choose to. This one's not necessary to win. Come back into our space. You can come over here. And you're able to actually come on around this part of the program. And here is another key. Right here we have an outdoor forest. All of this gridded green ground is supposed to represent that. It's pretty cool, blockable. I got these all from an asset, an unfab that I really liked, and it specifically talks about, here, let's go check my content drawer. So there, it's actually from the Simple Nature asset pack, and let's go work from the world. You can see an outside point of view. I'm actually gonna take a second and show a bird's view. So this is what it looks like right now. Oh, sorry about that. So this is a bird's point of view. And you can see over here I have my key, and I also physically labeled with the actual items the key over here. I have it placed so that the game starts with the revolving doors, which are also assets that I downloaded. So that's over here. We already walked past this area, but here's the game start. So let's go back to game start. Oh. Let's try that again. And this is an issue I've been having recurring. I know we're supposed to document things that we've overcome, issues, and things like that. Personally, I had a fun time working with playing around with some lighting and adding assets, and it was quite tedious building all of my map, considering I chose to go for more curved building structures. And I found that time consuming. But another thing I struggled with was not starting exactly where I wanted to. So let's see. Okay, so I did it right this time, which is good. But it's not consistent. I'm assuming it's because I have 2 starting points. And now that I've showed you some of the world, I also want to talk a little bit about these kind of what are kind of like the horses in chess. So these pieces are kind of our obstacles, and I mentioned that the watering can waters these flowers. So once you have filled up the watering can, you can kind of water these flowers and pick them as you go. I'm gonna, just because of time, I'm going to speed up a little bit and head to, here's another Anna. This is the last one before you get to the very last Anna, which is why it's kind of a higher jumping area. Right here we have our final boss, essentially, and we have this small mountain where you gotta put all of your flowers kind of like in an ofrendas, which is kind of like offering in Mexican culture. And once you've done that, this glass bubble opens and lets you play the last symbolic game of chess. And once you do that, the idea is that you have completed the game. So in simple layman's terms, this is my game. Thank you for watching. I'm excited for how I can improve it now that we're learning unit scale and other things.